world of sports, eh?
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack.
Ahoy!
He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.
Wasted world of sports, ahoy! Welcome back for another season of NRL. Are we excited? Game of Mel, ahoy there. UFC, ahoy. Gaming with Braden, ahoy. We're all ready for a new year of NRL action. We've obviously been back for the wasted world of sports. James, ahoy. You go and do doggy business. Jack RP, ahoy. My dog looks thinner. She had a very, very extreme haircut today. Welcome back. A new year of NRL action ready to commence, of course. These pre-season things are just a little bit of fun, aren't they? Really. They don't mean anything. James asks, is the drug cheat playing? Yes, he is. And he's in my multi. Because I think he is back to make amends. Have you seen photos of him, actually? I need to somehow try and facilitate bringing up a photo. By the way, how cool's the new intro? I used all my video editing abilities, which are very limited, but I used all my video editing abilities and scrambled that together about half an hour ago, just in time for the stream. I mean, it's exactly the same as last year's, just with some new clips in it. That's all. Am I streaming on Saturday? Most likely, time will tell. But most likely, yes, that is the plan. Look, things can come up. Let me just say that. Things can come up from time to time. Life things. How are you there, Jack? Jack RP. What's RP? Roleplay? Are you roleplaying as somebody named Jack? Or are you actually Jack? See, I care about the important issues here, such as people's names. Game ML, of course, Game ML is back for the Melbourne Storm. I find it interesting, actually, Game ML, a Melbourne Storm supporter, and her name's Mel. Melbourne. I probably didn't need to explain that. We're all smart enough cookies around here, aren't we, to have figured that one out, where I was going with that. Oh, I've just missed my mouth. Spill number 1 of 2024. We actually do legitimately need a spill counter. Spill counting. It's on to 1. So we do have a couple of talking points for the season ahead before it's even started. UFC raised the question earlier on, before the stream began. He was interested in my thoughts on the whole Brisbane Broncos kerfuffle. Now, I have not had the time to set up a reaction style video here, but I'm going to go ahead and assume that everybody has seen it and is familiar with the video in question. And if you're not, then I recommend loading it up and checking it out. So a couple of Brisbane Broncos players had a little bit of a scuffle in the off-season, apparently. The Patrick Kerrigan and Adam Reynolds. Now I know who I'm backing in that fight. But I'm so curious to know if you've seen the video. And once again, I say, if you haven't seen it, I recommend loading it up and checking it out. But for those who have seen it, now, you can see the two players having a little bit of a friendly muck around. By the way, I should start with my overall point. It's all a hullabaloo about nothing, really, isn't it? A couple of players have gone out, they've got on the drink, and they've had a little bit of a scuffle afterwards. Who cares? Honestly, has the preseason been that boring that this is what we have to... It's not like there was a big punch-up. Fists were flying everywhere. No, it was just a couple of blokes out on the drink, having a little bit of a scuffle. Now, UFC raises a big talking point here. So, Adam Reynolds, as you can see in the video, takes down Pat Carrigan. Classic UFC-style maneuver. He's got him down against the cage, and he's ready to start unloading. But what's happened now is some cheeky little bugger has come in and started dry humping them out of absolutely nowhere. He just races in from the side. I think the big talking point should be, who the hell is that guy, and why was he so keen to take advantage of the situation with a little bit of a humpy at the end there? That's what I think the real talking point is. Never mind a couple of footy players having a little bit of a friendly scuffle after a night out on the drink. Who's taken advantage of that situation? And I think that actually signals that it was all in good fun, really, doesn't it? It was all for just a little bit of a laugh. Nothing to see here. Let's move on. Vobsy, ahoy, my friend. Reece Walsh was actually there, though. This is... Okay, I've just laughed way too early. Reece Walsh was actually there. There was an eyewitness report that suggests Reece Walsh was there, and he was very keen to break up the scuffle between his co-captains, but he was caught horribly out of position and was too late to come across and save the day. Which, considering what we saw all of 2023 during the season, very believable story. Not made up at all. Mr. Ed's dead, ahoy! How are you there, mate? Oh, it's so good to be back, Vobsy. Very poor at the moment, so I will most likely be popping in and out. Oh, you know what that means, James? Completely unchallenged at the top of the ladder this year. Also, very sorry to hear that, Vobsy. It's good to be back. Wasted World of Sports. Hang on, I just have to pop off for a second there. My light has fallen over. There we go. That's going to be a little bit better. All right, now, the other talking point, of course, in today's game, we've got a couple of players returning for various reasons. Ryan Pappenhausen, this will be his first game back. An extended layoff through injury. And, of course, Bronson Xerri. Let's keep an eye on him. Bronson Xerri, former Sharks player. Back then, I used to call him Tits for Hands because he couldn't catch the ball. He may as well have had a pair of tits for hands. That was the idea. Blake Lyons, ahoy there, mate. How are you doing? Welcome back for the 2024 season. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, the other thing that I need to point out is Bronson Xerri, when he played for the Sharks, he looked like a backup dancer for the Backstreet Boys or something. Now he looks like he's come straight out of prison. He's the leader of a prison gang. It's incredible the transformation that he's gone through. All tattoos everywhere, which is fine. I mean, you don't have to immediately associate tattoos with prison. I feel like I'm going to get a lot of backlash for that statement. I'm doing my best to just walk it back there. As the Melbourne Storm come out onto the field, a slightly alternate looking uniform here, probably just for the pre-season games. The game, of course, we're back into the proper NRL season. The game, of course, is dual streamed over on Discord. Now, I need to lower this volume. Okay, there we go. Bobsy says, I'm putting money on Xerri's opposite man. Speaking of money, we should go ahead before this game kicks off and check out my same game multi, which is not even set up yet. Oh, God. That's good. It's okay. Let's get these teething problems out of the way nice and early. Pre-season game number 1. Let's get it all out of the way. Because we all know the issues are going to carry on throughout the season proper anyways, aren't they? All right, so same game multi. I wanted to do, I was too busy with work and then I ran out of time. But I did want to do like a proper, and I hope to do this more often throughout the course of the season, but I do want to do actual proper previews of the game and betting options. I want to run through some same game multi options because a lot of the times what I put on the screen that I've gone for is the most extreme option that I've gone for, if that makes sense. I do have a few multis on the run. Oh, we have kicked off. We have kicked off in amongst all of this. Season 2024 is not underway yet because it's still the preseason, but this is going to give us a great idea as to how some of the teams are tracking. What the hell am I doing? Okay. And it is Melbourne with first use of the football. Now, I'm just trying to get my multis sorted out on the screen here. I've probably been away for a little bit too long. There we go. This is all I needed to do. All I needed to do was do that. Okay, we're up and running. As Melbourne get through their first set unscathed, and a high ball goes up from Jonah Pezzett. There's going to be some new names running around out there. We're going to have to get used to that. So, 4-leg, same game multi, Ryan Pappenhausen, Bronson Sherry, Remus Smith, and Blake Wilson. I've stacked it with the backs. I'm figuring that pre-season warm-up game, they're going to be throwing the ball around absolutely everywhere. They're not going to care. They're just going to toss the ball around everywhere and anything can happen. I expect quite a few tries. As the Bulldogs, they've actually stacked their games. They've got way more regular starters on their squad than the Storm do. As it goes to Burton, one of the regular starters. His first high ball of the season puts pressure on the Storm backs, but they've passed with flying colours. Great take over there. Don't know who it is. Don't think I've ever seen him before. Unless it was Marion Seve, in which case I have seen him before, and my apologies to Marion. But both teams just feeling each other out now, and the first mistake of the game, the first mistake of the NRL Pre-Season, and it's Dina Ramir. Oh, what a great little stat to have next to your name. The first error of the season. Blake Lyons says, the last time I saw you was the Broncos-Penrith Grand Final, suggesting to me that you're only interested in NRL content, which is absolutely fine. Because since then, I've done quite a few streams of different sports. Vobsy's just placed a sneaky bet on Remus, anytime try scorer. Good bet. He's in my multi. That's a good bet. Scrum down here for the Bulldogs. They go on the short side. Burton runs on his own. Dummies not falling for it, though. Tyron Wishart. 6 again for the Bulldogs inside the 10 metres. And the Bulldogs putting some pressure on early, running it to the defensive line, passing it out the back, and here is Bronson Sherry fighting his way close to the line. Oh, and it's not even him. Okay, you see? I'm so confused with all these new players. That was probably him dropping the ball out the back. No, it was Blake Taff. Blake Taff spills it through his legs, playing tunnel ball. The Bulldogs attacking the short side. They've got great shape out here, but the Storm defense slides across and cuts it down. It's all a bit sloppy and aimless, as you would expect a preseason to be. Marnie's out in midfield, braced himself for contact that never came. Flat pass now to Preston, and it's a penalty to the Bulldogs. A tackle off the ball. Take the 2. Take the 2. Take the 2. Come on, it's pre-season. Get the first points of the season. Take the 2. It's right out in front. Of course they're not. They're going to tap and go. Marnie sends it over to the left-hand side of the field. They love that left-hand edge. I might have to think. Stack the left-hand edge. Big run forward there from Jarrell Skelton. Hey, I wonder if that's the brother of Will Skelton. Now there's plenty of space, and the first try to Eli Clark. Whoever that is, such a big name in the rugby league world that he doesn't even have his photo on the NRL.com website. Eli Clark, the first try of the preseason. What a start for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs, of course, have stacked their side more so than the Storm. Stephen Crichton's on the bench there. Addo Carr's not playing. But they've still got some quality players out there. Reed Marnie's playing. Matt Burton's playing. Jacob Preston's playing. Oh, there were more players coming, by the way. I just named 2 people and then stopped. There were more on the way. But you compare that to Melbourne. Pappenhausen's obviously a star player, but they're just getting him time after his injury. Dina Ramir is sort of in and out of the side. Remus Smith, Marion Seve, they were never able to hammer down a place in the starting squad. Well, I went for Bronson Xerri. He was the centre on the opposite side. They've scored through the centres over this near side of the field, which is kind of a bugger. But these things happen, don't they? Conversion from the sideline is swinging back around, and that's a hell of a kick. Stephen Crichton loves it. He's watching on from the sideline there. He absolutely loves it. Six points to 0, the Bulldogs. And the trainer is lurking suspiciously close behind Ryan Pappenhausen there. That is not a sight that any Melbourne Storm supporter wants to see. They don't want to see a trainer anywhere near Ryan Pappenhausen, I'm sure. There we go. I don't know why my scoreboard keeps breaking, but we got there in the end. It still hasn't updated. God damn it. Go Bulldogs. Yes, of course, Mr. It's Dead, a fan of the Bulldogs. He was going for the underdogs. Oh, this scoreboard is horribly broken. Great set after points here for the Bulldogs. Burton puts it high. They've stood back and let it bounce, and Marnie gets a boot to it. Luckily for the Storm, it pops up into the waiting arms of Pappenhausen. Dangerous play, though. You never let that ball bounce. I can't believe, seriously, that after all this time, there is still an unwillingness, a seeming unwillingness to go after those Matt Burton high balls. UFC asks, how's the monitor stand? Gone. Got rid of it. I've got a brand new setup for season 2024, and I'm actually going to be doing a video, a setup video that I do apologize. Oh. I do apologize, at least in the short term. The setup video will be exclusive to Wasted World of Sports VIP channel members. And I do apologize for that. Phil Gould's falling asleep. Wake up, old man! There's a game going on. It's been a long day for Gus. It's been a long 3 years, or however long it's been at the Bulldogs. And again, they stay down that short side, and Burton puts it high. Pappenhausen takes it to the back. jumping. He didn't need to jump, so I don't really know why he did. But he did. Just force of habit, I suppose. As we approach 9 minutes gone here, and the Bulldogs, they've just been dominating this. Now, they were the favourites going into this game, of course, with the bookmakers. I've obviously asked if there's any ex-Panthers players playing apart from Burton and Salmon. I don't think so. I don't think so today. Great kick there at the end of set for Peasant. I see how it is. I was doing too many giveaways last season, was I? Oh, there's a mistake. The big number 5, Gerald Skelton. I would love to know if that is a relative, brother, cousin, or something from Big Will Skelton, who's playing rugby over in Europe. Yeah, so very exciting to be back for another season of NRL action. I might actually do some advertising this year. Try and grow things a little bit faster this season. But we'll see. I'm incredibly slack with all that sort of thing. As Melbourne put the scrum down, try to launch a set play. They win a penalty nonetheless. Take the 2. Take the 2. It's a gift 2 points if they want it. I know it's the pre-season and they probably just want to run some plays, try some stuff out, but I'd still take the 2. They tap and go as well. No real advantage kicking for touch from this close to the try line, I suppose. Reed Marnie's on report. How'd you be going on report in a pre-season trial game? That's incredible. Right in midfield, so options left and right. They go right, Melbourne. And I tell you what, the ball is spilt out the back, and Matt Burton picks it up and races away. He is going to get run down. Great speed shown there from Tyron Wishart. Oh, he's not going to get run down. He put a cheeky little goose step on, and Wishart can only look up at him and laugh and say, what the hell happened? And it's been called back by the referee. Why has the referee called it back? Because it's off a Bulldog's hand, and that's how the ball became loose. Off the hands. And knocked down. And oh, you thought Burton was away for all money there. Heel Fries, ahoy, mate. I cannot believe, Heel Fries, that you missed the Royal Rumble stream. I thought for sure that I was going to see you. But anyways, it is nice to have you back. Welcome along there, mate. Gamer Mel retracted her sadness because Matt Burton did not score a try. Jardin. Evan Jardin, ahoy there. Don't forget to, Wasted World of Sports followers. Free NRL tipping comp is back again for this season. I won 2 years ago. The old Panther won last year. Can somebody take the crown away from the Wasted World of Sports family? Melbourne, great shape. The pass out wide to Dean Iramia, and Iramia will score. Dean Iramia scores. And Melbourne have hit back. He scores the try, gets a blood nose in the process. He must have got a little cleat to the face there. And again, it's not somebody in my multi. Try time, Melbourne. They've hit back. Who can we blame this on? Oh, there. Too far in field there, mate. Gerald Skelton. That's who we blame that on. Skelton doing a Josh Addo-Carr. Josh Addo-Carr's not playing, but his defensive reads are still the same with his replacement there. Gerald Skelton in the number 5. Way too far in field. And Melbourne took full advantage of that. You know what, Blake? I probably am going to do the All-Stars game tomorrow night. I was originally going out. But no, I'll probably do the game now that I'm going to be home. The conversion from the sideline from Pezzett. He hooks it around perfectly and straight through the post it goes. 6 points all. Evan Jardin asks, my favorite team. Unfortunately, I'll go for the Sharks. I say unfortunately because we're crap. Absolutely terrible, atrocious team, but I still support them. Supported them pretty much my whole life. I say pretty much because there was a period of time where Little Dan did used to go for the Brisbane Broncos for some reason. 6 points all. Bulldogs get us back underway. But then I came to my senses about being a Broncos supporter. I'll leave that to Michelle. UFC says some builders at my house spotted my special tomato plant. It's not tobacco, is it? Tobacco. Oh, huge hit. There's our first big hit of the season, and it's by Kitoni Kautoga. I don't know, Bulldogs. Evan, you're a Bulldog supporter. Do you know who... Have you ever in your life heard of Kitoni Kautoga? And Pezzett puts the ball out on the full. See, Jerome Hughes would not be doing that. James, ahoy there, mate. Nice to have the gang back together. And when I say the gang, I mean so many familiar faces out there in the chat. Well, not faces. Names. Familiar names in the chat room tonight. Bear Flavel, ahoy, mate. Enjoy the season this year. Well, I really hope to. I really do hope to enjoy the season ahead. Bulldogs, they attack the short side again. They are loving it down there. They're loving the short side. They're loving that nice tight space. Now they free it up on the open side. Wrap around play and almost a double for Eli Clark. Now they spread it back the other side of the field. No, cutting back in midfield. Fifth and last it is. Marnie again on the short side. They run it to the line. Burton's got it. Pops the pass along, and there is Bronson Sherry. Hey! I call shenanigans. Bronson Sherry has got way less tattoos on his arms in real life than... Cheeky bugger did some fake tattoos for his image, his profile picture. Cheeky little sod. He's gone and got some tattoo sleeves for photo day that he doesn't actually have in real life. I mean, I think I'm correct in that. Seriously, let's check out NRL.com. Before I go throwing accusations around, let me have another look. Because I was looking at this earlier. I think he's gone and put fake tattoos on for his photo. Because he's got a full sleeve in his profile photo, but he does not have a full sleeve out there in real life. Cheeky bugger. What joke have I missed, James? I wonder what joke I missed. I apologise for that. Evan Jardin says, do you think New Zealand need more teams? Absolutely not, as the Bulldogs get a penalty now for holding down. And they can clear the ball out of their own territory here. Oh. No, it's okay. No, I don't think New Zealand need more teams. New Zealand, I make it no secret, I'm a supporter of both codes. I cover both codes here on the Wasted World of Sports. We cover the Rugby Union, we cover the Rugby League. It's a Rugby Union nation through and through. Rugby League, honestly, does not have the following to support a second team. It doesn't have the player base to support a second team. Do not listen to the media here in Australia. They try and pitch it. They try and pitch it constantly about this big following in New Zealand. It really doesn't exist. I talk to mates all the time over in New Zealand that say you get a good crowd when the Warriors are doing well, but if you now dilute that talent, they're not going to go so well and the crowds will dwindle. I don't think there is justification for a second team. James, I actually think they would be much better off if there was a second New Zealand team. Base it in Australia. Yeah. It might seem like he's joking, but that's actually not a bad idea. High ball here from the Bulldogs, and Melbourne want no piece of it again. And it's knocked on by the Bulldogs, luckily for Melbourne. Craig Bellamy, who's probably not even there tonight, in all honesty, he will be tearing his hair out at the amount of high balls. Heel fries, you've got to take it into you've got to put it in perspective. Pre-season challenge. Nobody cares about the pre-season challenge, really. The only reason that I'm covering the pre-season challenge is because we've got the NRL tipping contest, which is a pinned comment at the top of the chat. By the way, completely free to join. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but this year I also want to do, on top of the NRL tipping contest, I want to do the NRL fantasy. I think we should have a Wasted World of Sports NRL Fantasy League. Once again, completely free to join, running off the NRL website. So the only reason that I'm doing this is because I want to see the fringe players. I want to see the depth of all the teams. That will help me when I come to pick my fantasy squad. Fifth and last, Bulldogs back in attacking range here. 6-all it is. Again, they go on the short side and Burton's going to get caught on the fifth and last. Okay, so the KO Sports had the tackle count wrong because it had fifth and last on, and Matt Burton ran and got tackled and played the ball and was allowed to. So it obviously wasn't the fifth and last. Vopsy says, thoughts on Manu going to Union at the end of the year? Great move for Joey Manu. I actually think, in all seriousness, Joey Manu is his skill set probably better suits Rugby Union. In all honesty. And the Roosters, for those of you who were here for my Wasted World of Sports top 8 prediction stream the other week, I think the Roosters are going to do just fine this season and beyond. Oh, and a spilt ball there from Trent Trent Liero. I still can't say his goddamn name. Unbelievable. I've had over 12 months, and I still get tongue-tied over his name. Trent Liero. 0 tackle for the Bulldogs. Hutchinson nearly goes through. Gets the ball away to Marnie. And now there's space out to the left. But straightening up and going on his own probably wasn't the right option. Who is that? Number 10. Samuel Hughes. Blake Wilson steps. Blake Wilson has just made a complete fool out of everybody out there on that Melbourne left-hand edge. And Blake Wilson scores. And that... Oh, it's not Blake Wilson. Who is it? It's supposed to be Blake Wilson. On the team sheet, it says number 2 is Blake Wilson. God, now the NRL website team sheets making it seem like I don't know what I'm talking about. Or is it just Blake Wilson in headgear? We'll find out momentarily. Oh, it is Blake Wilson. Okay, he's just wearing headgear. He's wearing headgear on the field and not in the profile photo. Okay. Well, that's great because that's a leg of my multi. God damn it. Okay, there we go. Let's put a tick over Blake Wilson's shoulder there. A green tick. Because we've got a leg of the multi done. Still with 16 minutes to go till the halftime break. I'm so confused. Matt Burton's talking to himself as he moves in on his favoured side. The ball hits the upright and bounces away, and it stays 10 points to 6. So, can somebody do a, what's the word? Somebody do a welfare check on Gamer Mel. Gamer Mel, I'm telling you though, put it in perspective. It's just the pre-season. This is not the real teams. They're just trying stuff out. Blake Lyons says, do you think the Dolphins will do good this season? I've actually tipped the Dolphins. I think I tipped the Dolphins in the top 8. I can't really remember who I tipped in the top 8, apart from the obvious candidates. I think I had the Dolphins in the 8 this season. Hutchinson taps down. Taps down the kickoff with his boot. And it is recovered. Vopsy, this is, you talk about understrength. You talk about understrength. Melbourne, but well, both teams really. This pre-season challenge is it's going to be the height of understrength teams. James asked if I saw the Shield reference on Raw the other night. I did not. No, in all honesty. I'm just absolutely loving how this is all starting to play out. I love that we've got heel Rock. I never in a million years thought that the Rock would turn heel. But anyways, conversations for completely different streams, I suppose. Pappenhausen slots into the playmaker role. Wants to get his hands on some ball. That's what it's all about. 14 minutes to go to the break. Pappenhausen in at first receiver again. Just trying to get himself into the game, as I predicted beforehand as well. High ball, pressure on Skelton at the back. He takes it well, steps around the first tackle, and brings it back for the Bulldogs. Seth Rollins said, I will be your shield if you need me to. Cody Rhodes. Oh, spilt ball. No, it's not spilt. It's played the ball. Bulldogs up over halfway. Great little run there. Whoever that is. 27. Who's 27? I don't even have 27 on my team sheet. It doesn't go that far down. Fifth and last. Bulldogs rapidly moving upfield again. Hutchison puts it high. Pappenhausen takes it. The number 6 there, Russell Smith, would normally be Munster. The number 5 there, Katoa, would usually be somebody else. Hey, what about the early release of Justin Olam, huh? What happened to Justin Olam? How did he fall so out of favour at the Storm that he's been released and gone to the Tigers? Incredible. Fifth and last for the Storm. Only a 30-metre gain. It was a good kick. They got away, though. And at the back, Blake Taff brings the ball back for the Bulldogs. They are making metres at will at the moment. Why couldn't Parramatta sign him? Oh, getting all tangled up in the play the ball area there. Players falling over each other everywhere. Tackled in the opposition half. 32 times the Bulldogs have been tackled inside Melbourne territory. 7 from the Storm. This hugely under-strength Melbourne Storm team. Both teams under-strength, but Melbourne hugely. Hutchinson now puts it high. Another high ball in attacking range that Melbourne have just stood back and watched. And they tie up the ball. Can't get the offload away, and that will be a handover. But once again, Melbourne have just stood back and watched as a high ball is taken by the kicking team, by the attacking team, the Bulldogs. And a penalty, a relieving one at that for Melbourne. Pappenhausen just calming things down. Can we do wrestling instead? UFC? Wrestling's more my kind of thing, though. Or maybe we could do two. Maybe we could do a double charity so that it's fair. We can't just favour me and do wrestling. We could do one wrestling. Hey, we could do one wrestling, one boxing, and the tiebreaker, if required, could be MMA. Could be fun. This is better off the back of the penalty for Melbourne. Oh, commentator's curse. The commentator's curse goes on. And Pezzett spills the ball. Pezzett is no match at all for Jerome Hughes. The backup, number 7, showing why he's the backup and not the starter, I suppose, in all fairness. This game feels like it's been going for an eternity, right? Is it just me? Feels like it's been going for a very long time. Scrum down. The Bulldogs scamper away. They're back up at halfway. Bronson Xerri. I'm still not convinced about his tattoos in the profile picture. Up over halfway, they go again. Burton out the back. Cut out pass. Finds some space for Skelton, who cuts back in field. The cutout pass from Taff. And they are just chewing up meters here, the Bulldogs. Fifth and last now, just to the right of the post, 20 metres out. Marnie sends it to the left. Hutchinson, little chip in over the top. And racing back is Peasant to secure it a metre out from their own try line. Melbourne under the pump once again. Only trailing by 4, though. The Bulldogs just... Again, I think the Bulldogs, even though this is not the top teams, like their starting teams... This is just the preseason. It is just a trial. I still think there is a real lack of that killer blow from the Bulldogs. We've seen it for the past couple of years on paper as Melbourne go for the early kick. Nobody's fallen for it. Taft's already back there. Dummies and goes on his own. And this is a great starting position for this set of 6 for the Bulldogs. But they've just lacked. They've had the team on paper for the past couple of seasons to really be better than what they've displayed. And they get a penalty here for a high shot. Take the 2! Here's an opportunity to take the 2. Jesus Christ, what a haircut. Who's that? Caius Fartilli. Fartilli. Oh, God. Okay, I shouldn't laugh at his name. I can, though, laugh at his haircut. Bloody hell. I've never seen anything quite like that. Whew. 7 minutes to go in the half. Bulldogs back in the red zone, 20 metres out from Melbourne's line, in front of the posts. They've been attacking the short side all night. This time, they come back to this right-hand side. Clark dummies, goes on his own. Clark looks for a double. He's held up. He's claiming it, but he's held up. I think he's telling Porkies. Eli Clark is claiming it. It's got to go up as no try. I've got held up as well from my view here on the TV screen. They are attacking down this edge, though. I really did, for some reason, think that there'd be way more attack down Bronson Sherry's edge. He knows he hasn't scored it. He got up and he knows he hasn't scored it. He's gone back into position to play the ball. The cheeky butt. Yeah, have a laugh about it, mate. You couldn't fool us. He's having a cheeky laugh. He knows he didn't get it down. Tackle 3, though. The Bulldogs on the attack. 10 points to 6 in the lead. It's only the This is the point. The point that we have to make is that this is only the preseason and it doesn't matter. Nobody really cares at the end of the day. Let's not forget that last year, Manly won the pre-season challenge. Won. So, it is what it is. Marnie sending it out into midfield. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know who number 27 is. I'm going to try and find out. Marnie to Hutchinson to Burton. Through the hands. Now, Bronson Sherry has a chance here. He is millimetres short from another tick on the multi for me. 5th and last. Burton with the crossfield kick. What a take at the back there from Remus Smith. Diffusing the bomb. Oh, but it's a penalty to the Bulldogs. Stephen Crichton's having a good old chuckle about that on the sideline. A penalty for obstructing the kick chase. They did so well to defuse that high ball. Remus Smith did anyway. Oh, centimetre short there, Bronson Sherry. Oh, that's a harsh call, that. If that's what the penalty was for, what we just saw on the replay, that is a harsh call against Russell Smith and the Storm, impeding the kick chase. He was just standing there. They didn't give us enough footage. Now they break out right, and numbers. No, it's tapped down by Melbourne. Oh, the try was on there. Again, down this right-hand edge. Blake Wilson was on for a double. Absolutely had to get hands to that ball. It was try time for the doggies there. Pressure is not off though. 5 minutes to go till the break. Scrum down in midfield. 10 metres out. Burton on the short side. Out the back it goes to Taff. Taff finds Skelton. Skelton falls over his own feet. Hoping. Hoping is the name of the number 27, apparently. Sounds made up. Tackle 3 here for the Bulldogs, still on the attack. Marnie sends it out to the right. Now they go down this edge again. The little grubber kick through pops up for Melbourne. And Melbourne through Remus Smith. They hold on again. For the Bulldogs, it's just the same old story, really, isn't it? They just can't get themselves across the line. They've got the team on paper, even with this largely reserve grade squad that they've run out tonight. They just can't get across the line. Again, they've held Melbourne only a 27-metre gain. They are keeping Melbourne tied up down here. Big fend from Skelton. 3.5 minutes to go. And they've just dominated this first half, the Bulldogs, but unable to really take advantage on the scoreboard. That was a big don't argue there put on the... I don't even know what to call that guy. The red panda mullet. Three minutes to go. Tackle 4. Terrible pass there. Hutchins does well. And there's space again here for Blake Wilson. Steps inside. Great tackle in the last line of defence from Pappenhausen. Fifth and last. 5 out from the line. Taff puts the little grubber kick through. And again it pops up. It will be a result, though, for Melbourne, for Bulldogs, sorry. Maybe I'm calling Himalaya, James. Did you stop and think about that? I could be calling Himalaya. Well, that's the worst dropout you will ever see in your life. That goal line dropout has gone backwards somehow. I've never seen anything quite like that. The goal line dropout has gone backwards. And the Bulldogs have the ball. Inside the last 2 minutes, Marnie will get the penalty right out in front of the post. Take the 2 for the love of God. Come on, just take the 2. Who doesn't want to be the first penalty goal scorer of the pre-season? Nobody wants to be, apparently. They've tapped and gone. And the Bulldogs stay on the attack. Marnie out of dummy half. The crash ball. The crash ball has worked, has it? He's over the line. Samuel Hughes. It's another try for the Bulldogs. They needed those points. Oh, it's been all Bulldogs. This goal line dropout. That is fabulous. It's gone dead. How does a ball go dead on your own side of the field from a goal line dropout? Well, that's how. Oh, now. That ball has left his hands. He does not have control of this. Now, you don't need control. You don't need control anymore. It's all about if it just stays in contact with the hand. That's a try. You've got to give that. You've got to allow this. It's the pre-season. Just give it. Pre-season game, just give it. We are having a look, though. Oh, the bunker has intervened. We're having a look. I think this one's going to get taken away. And this will set the tone for the season proper, won't it? This will set the tone. Oh, and it's going to be an obstruction call. We're not even looking at the... we're coming back for the obstruction. We're not even looking at the grounding. This is an obstruction on the Red Panda mullet. No try. The Red Panda mullet has been impeded in the defensive line. Penalty to Melbourne, so we weren't even looking at the grounding. Wow. Obstructing the defender. When you run those decoys, James, you've got to make sure that you go all the way through the line or retreat back out of the line. I didn't catch the number. All I saw was who was impeded. And the Melbourne Storm defender was the Red Panda mullet. I didn't see who the Bulldogs player was, but you can't just run into the defensive line and stop. You've either got to keep running through or retreat. You've got to get out of that defensive line if you're a decoy. And yeah, I mean, to the letter of the law, he didn't. He just ran and stood there. The tackle wasn't being made anyway, but unfortunately, common sense like that does not come into the equation when we talk about the rules. Red Panda mullet was slightly, ever so slightly impeded. And that was enough for the try to be disallowed. I thought they were going to look at the grounding, but no, we didn't even get to the grounding. It was all about that obstruction play. 10 seconds to go. Peasant puts the kick back for Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen will score. Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Ryan Pappenhausen gets another tick on the multi for me, right on the stroke of halftime. The crossfield kick, well, it wasn't even a crossfield kick. Melbourne have broken blindside from the scrum, have kicked back infield for Pappenhausen. That is a play that you can expect to see a lot between Jerome Hughes and Pappenhausen in the season proper. And that is another tick on the multi. So I'm going to allow it. The speed of Ryan Pappenhausen back on show. Try confirmed. And if you can believe it, Melbourne are going to go into halftime leading this game. That's incredible. It has been all Bulldogs. They've just been unable to sink that killer blow. And Melbourne are going to somehow lead this game at halftime 12 points to 10 unless Pezzett makes an almighty bollocksing of this conversion. He is right beside the post. He should be able to blow this over. Melbourne are going to take the lead into the break. That's unreal. Right down the middle of the post it goes. 12 points to 10. Melbourne lead at halftime. I can't believe it because it's been all Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have had about 7,000% possession in their favour. About 10,000% territory. And they are staring down a 2-point deficit at the break. It's the same old story for the Bulldogs. Yes, it's only the pre-season. Yes, it's trial teams. It's trial games. Everything is just all for a little bit of a laugh. But it's the same old problem for the Bulldogs. That is the worrying sign for me. I said in our stream, our Wasted World of Sports ladder prediction stream the other week, I said I've lost all faith in the Bulldogs. This is the reason why. They've got the team on paper to be so much better than this. And again, I cannot overstate the fact it is just a trial, but there are some very concerning signs there. Trial or not, this is what we've seen from the Bulldogs for the past 2 seasons. just an inability to live up to their potential on paper. Trailing at halftime, you wouldn't believe it. This is absolute incredible scenes here. Wasted world of sports. How good is it to have the footy back, by the way? Very good to have the footy back. Jeez, I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. I really am. That Melbourne have gone into this game leading at halftime, 12 points to 10. Wasted world of sports. Second half coming up. I'll have a quick break and we'll be back to dissect what in the hell we just witnessed right after this. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Let me tell you about the new McCrispy. Serious chicken bone. I reckon it's going to be the next big thing. How do you know you made it big? It's awesome with everyone knowing your name. Hey, then come the fans, paparazzi, and the collabs. So will the McCrispy ever make it big? Guess we'll have to wait and see. Good luck, big. Maybe we won't be in New York.
Introducing the McCrispy. 100% new signature sauce. With this Sunday. Yeah. Remember Sunday?
If your health plan carries this year, it's trusted by over 5 million Australians. And we're going everything. It means better value and service because we are not products. The tick means a fun members. So look for the tick and choose one of 25 members' health plans today. It's not time or life. Start creating it with the ones who can help make it happen. Beyond bank is for customers, with customers. Beyond bank.
Wild scenes here at halftime. 12 points to 10. Melbourne, this extremely understrength Melbourne Storm team, an understrength Canterbury Bulldogs team as well. Let's not forget that. Both teams understrength, but Melbourne were under the pump for about 90% of that game so far. That first half, completely under the pump. Somehow they go to the break with the lead. I don't know exactly how it's happened, but for the Bulldogs, even though it's only a trial, even though both teams are under strength, it's got to be ringing some alarm bells because that's a very familiar sight. How many times in season 2023, how many times in season 2022 did we say the Bulldogs should be winning this game? Should be. And we are now saying it again in the first pre-season challenge game of season 2024. We are left just bewildered and saying, how are the Bulldogs not leading this match? In terms of my multi, things are not that bad. Bronson Sherry, Remus Smith. We got Pappenhausen, we got Wilson. We're halfway there. So as I said, coming up in season 2024, I am hoping to do some more betting-oriented videos. Some same-game multis. I would love to do more trading-related content as well in the lead-up to the games. Jean Jezebel, the try scorers. I can get that information for you, absolutely. The try scorers so far, apart from the ones that we've obviously got on the screen there, my try scorers. Okay, so the game so far has gone. The Bulldogs scored 4 minutes in through Eli Clark. The Storm hit back Dean Uremia. It was 6 points all at that point. And then the Bulldogs, they went ahead, a try to Blake Wilson, which went unconverted. And then right on the stroke of halftime, Ryan Pappenhausen scoring for the Melbourne Storm. A little switch of direction kick by Jonah Pezzett. And the speed of Pappenhausen just beat everybody else to the ball. Conversion successful. 12 points to 10 at halftime. Melbourne with the lead. It's a worrying sign, UFC. It really is. I would be very, very concerned. And this is what I was talking about in the Wasted World of Sports ladder prediction video. The reason I had the Bulldogs down as low as I did, they should be a top 8 team. But for whatever reason, they just can't seem to get it together. And I suppose it's a bit like, remember when Melbourne were the dynasty? Melbourne were the dynasty, and they would lose players. Players from Melbourne would get poached to other teams, but they just wouldn't be as good. Oh, great. Such and such has been signed. It's going to be... Well, it's even happened to my Sharks as well. I'm a Sharks supporter, of course. It's happened to the Sharks. When Dale Finucane came across, oh, great. Melbourne Storm legend, Melbourne Storm leader, Nico Hines comes across as well. They haven't had the same effect. Well, we'll see, UFC. We'll see. The Raiders. Okay, I admitted it was an extremely bold prediction to have them as the Wooden Spooners. But inside the 8, are you kidding me? With a team of rookies? They literally have nobody. They are a bunch of no-names. I don't think we're going to see a miracle from the Raiders this season. It was a very bold prediction, and I made that very, very clear in the video. I was starting very, very bold. You realise the bookmakers have them coming third last as well. It wasn't that extreme. It was a bold prediction, but it wasn't that extreme. I mean, they literally have nobody left in their team. The top 8 is... that's the bold call for the Raiders this season. Evolution Equinorm. Come on the Storm. Who else can't afford KO here? It's all good. I can afford it. Jump on our Discord, mate. The game is streaming over there. All I ever ask in return is a like and subscribe on the channel, and just keep popping back if you're going to leech off my Discord stream, all I ever ask, just pop in every stream, like, leave some chats.
The chase is on. Think of going solar. Get smart with a total
That's all we ask.
solution from Solar. Get world-leading
Yeah, UFC, that says that is the genesis of how we arrived here.
Get a smart watch
I think so.
that talks to your solar system, so you never waste.
I think I would not be surprised, honestly, if like 90% of the regulars were
connected with Solar
just looking for
energy management system.
a video feed and
Get smart. Get solar.
just decided, we got a nice video feed. But you know what? This drunk son of a bitch ain't too bad to have a chat with either. So we'll keep coming back. I don't know. That's what I've made up in my head that happens anyway. Vincent Spears, the hometown music. Ahoy there, mate. How you doing? As the Melbourne Storm come back out on the field, somehow, I can't believe that they are leading this game at half-time. It's absolutely incredible. Waste of Water Sports, free NRL tipping comp. Don't forget that as well. The Streamlabs bot has been sharing it. I want to see everybody on there, especially you, UFC, since he has the audacity to question my ladder predictions. You've got to put your money where your mouth is and join the tipping comp. One of us is going to be tipping the Raiders every week. The Pat Cash story. Funnily enough, the Pat Cash thing came up on my Facebook memories the other week. I was like, oh yeah, that was that time that I met Pat Cash. You did not think B. Everyone knows who Pat Cash is, and I know it. That is a blatant lie, and I'm calling you out on that one, sir. Everyone knows the Aussie legend that is Pat Cash. As Melbourne get us back underway in this second half, dangerously close to the dead ball line on the full, that was. And James says Pat Cash was a lawn bowls player, wasn't he? Well, he did play on grass. He was extremely good on grass, considering it was the only Grand Slam that he won. How's his tennis club come along? Actually, Pat Cash, I've forgotten the name of... He's actually got quite a few... He's got quite a few pro players at the moment under his tutelage that are doing quite well. The names have escaped me. I did retain that information for a while because I did want to bring it up at some point. But yeah, there are quite a few of the Pat Cash trained players that are doing quite well professionally at the moment. Oh, high shot there from Preston. They get away with it, though. No penalty because it's the preseason. Pennies and Cents, it's called. Pat Cash's Tennis Academy. Pennies and Cents. Stop now. Stop. Yeah, that was too long an applause for that joke. It wasn't even what I was looking for. I was hoping for the... I was hoping for something else, but it wasn't there. All good. Penalty here for the Bulldogs, and the Bulldogs, their second half is underway. Much like they started the first half, down in Melbourne's territory. How do they find themselves trailing in this game? Eli Clark's got a little bit of a Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber haircut there. Hopefully we see more of him during the season so that I can make that reference more often. Staying on the short side again here. Taff has got the ball to Clark. Clark is way more involved on this side of the field. I did honestly think that they would go down the left. The Bulldogs. Hutchinson to the line. Burton now. Dummies and goes on his own. Matt Burton reaches out and scores. Oh, he doesn't get it down. Great defense from Melbourne. Oh, he was over the line and driven backwards. Who's your caddy? Ahoy. Now they go to the other side of the field to Blake Wilson. Oh, yeah, for some reason at halftime, Fox Sports upped their audio. I turned it down once already, but thank you for pointing that out. Burton gets the ball on the rebound. 5th and last. They're calling for 6 again here, the Bulldogs. Matt Burton's challenging. They're challenging. Was there a touch there? Yeah, I don't know what happened, but at halftime, after the halftime break, KO Sports just went volume up, up. And this is going to be a lost challenge for the Bulldogs. Who's your caddy says, ahoy. I know it's not the season proper, but it's so good to have league back and you and your channel. Cheers. James says, speaking of pointing things out, is that a fresh new bandana? No. No, I'm pretty sure I've cracked the blue one out before, especially at State of Origin time. I do have a colour for... I've got a colour handy for pretty much every team that I have tipped or am going for on any given night. Except for maroon. I don't own a maroon bandana. Because even if I tip Queensland or the Broncos, they can go to hell. Bucker Daz. Good night, mate. Who do you think will win the comp this year? Your opinion? Oh, Panthers. Panthers Roosters grand final. Shut up, James. And the Raiders for the wooden spoon. Shut up, UFC. Raiders, Dragons, Tigers for the wooden spoon. Either one of the three. In fairness, I did state that in the video. But yes, Panthers, Roosters, grand final. Heard it here first. You heard, well, maybe. Maybe you heard it here first. Melbourne get the ball back here. Oh, they've knocked the ball on. 5th and last, it'll be a handover. Just as long as the Broncos don't win. I don't really care. I know 2 years ago, oh, penalty to the Bulldogs. The leg pull again. The cheeky leg pull. So this is what they're cracking down on in season 2024, huh? The leg pull. In 2023, it was shoulder contact. 2024, it's the leg pull, obviously, that we're cracking down. Oh, the Broncos are getting nowhere near the grand final this year. Yeah, the only reason that I have the Broncos in the top 8 is because of their piss-easy draw that they've been given. Because because they're 70% owned by News Corp. News Corp, of course, are the major broadcaster. The major broadcaster gets a big, big majority say in who plays where on what nights when the draws developed. Oh, Melbourne with the intercept and racing away upfield now. Wishart, is it? No. Stepping in field, though, and caught. If it was Wishart, it was probably try time. Melbourne turning the tables quickly here on the Bulldogs. Keeping the ball alive now and up over halfway. Pezzett takes it to ground. Tackle 2 in Bulldogs territory. That's probably only about their 10th tackle in opposition territory. Pezzett with the Harbour Bridge ball. Katoa steps, beats one. Still going Katoa. He's taken down inside the 20-metre line. Tackle 4. Melbourne, a huge open side here to the right. They don't really use it. They just go to midfield and surrender. 5th and last. 66 metres gained off this set, though. Pezzett puts it in over the top, and this should be easily taken to the back, and is by Blake Taff. A little bit of a nothing end to that play, that set. Blake Taff's doing very well tonight for the Bulldogs. It must be said. Connor Crowley asks if this is on TV. It's on Fox Sports. It's not on free-to-air television. And I don't know if it's on in any other countries. That's a loose carry, spilt ball. Who was that? Turn around, mate. Let me see your number. It was Liam Knight. Liam Knight, his first touch of the ball. Spills it forward. James coming through with a link to the game. But our Discord probably has less ads if you have Discord. Not everyone has Discord, though, or knows how to use it. That's the thing that I contend with the most when it comes to people joining the Discord completely for free. Once they join, they don't know how to find the gameplay. Great shape out to the right here for Melbourne. And they win themselves a penalty. A high shot. Gene Jezebel says, never heard of Discord. Oh, it's a free software. Yeah, it's a free software used for chatting and... Mr. Edstead says, USA, I can only watch on Discord through your streamings. There you go. Well, there are sports bars in the US, I know, that do specifically play the Australian sports, Mr. Edstead. But, I mean, you probably don't want to always be travelling out to go to the bar to catch the game. Melbourne put it through the hands now on the left-hand edge. Look at the numbers here for the Bulldogs. 72 on 1 out there the Bulldogs had, and they dragged Melbourne over the sideline. They repel that attack. $12 points to 10, it remains. They're fired up there, the Bulldogs. They were very pleased with that little defensive segment. They've got a long way to go upfield, though. 28.5 minutes left. Okay, we need Bronson Sherry. We need Remus Smith for a dream start to our Maltese. If I ever do an American tour, Mr. It's Dead, as the Bulldogs spill the ball, no, they get away with that. Oh, what have we got there? Thank you very much for the sub. You know what, James? I actually haven't heard all that much about Viliami Kikau. Almost to the point where I forgot he even existed, to be honest. It's amazing, isn't it? Such a dynamic, big contributing player to the Panthers leaves, does nothing, really. Gets injured quite a fair bit. I really haven't heard anything about him. It's amazing, isn't it? You leave that Panthers system and it's like you don't exist anymore. But yeah, Mr. Ed's Dead, Wasted World of Sports American Tour. Should it ever happen, I'll have you on speed dial, mate. I'll hire you. You can be our personal Wasted World of Sports driver around the United States of America, because I won't know what I'm doing. I'm going to have a hard enough time in May when I'm in Sydney and Melbourne. Wasted World of Sports live in Sydney and Melbourne, let alone doing an American thing. By the way, in May, if anyone wants to be Wasted World of Sports personal security for... Oh, through the hands, and Skelton steps and scores! Out of absolutely nowhere, the Bulldogs have put the ball through the back line. And Skelton steps through and scores a try to put the Bulldogs back in the lead. DJ Shaq, ahoy, mate. Oh, they had fantastic formation there out to the left, the Bulldogs. Bronson Sherry pops the pass out. Try confirmed, and the Bulldogs reclaim the lead. 25 and a half minutes to go. I can't believe it. This is incredible how slow this game's going. Amazing. Amazing. But yes, Wasted World of Sports, the first week of May. I will be absolutely tearing Melbourne to pieces. Be ready for that, huh? Wasted World of Sports crew in Melbourne. Head on out that weekend. We're going to stream the games and we're going to set the town alight. From the sideline once again, this is Toby Sexton, and he's hooked it badly. It's another misconversion for the Bulldogs. 14 points to 12, they lead. That was a great step. He made a complete fool out of Trey Stewart. I've never heard of him either. But he made a fool of him. There's quite a few players out there. And this is what we got. They don't even have profile photos on NRL.com. That's how new they are. How new and unaware we are of their existence. But that's what this is all about, this pre-season challenge. It's all about making a name for yourself. These fringe players have an opportunity to step up and break through. We've got 24 and a half minutes to go. We still need Bronson Cherry. We still need Remus Smith. 62% possession in favour of the Bulldogs. They lead by 2 points. That just really really stamps an exclamation mark on their inability to finish off this this possession and territorial advantage, doesn't it? Fifth and last, they've gone all the way upfield again. The kick is up and well secured at the back. The number 22 for Melbourne, Mahala. I think I used to have mates that had a band called Mahala, I'm pretty sure. And now look at this defensive effort. Tackle 4. And Melbourne, they're not even out of their 20 yet. Fifth and last. Big defense in midfield. Fifth and last. Melbourne stuck on their 20-metre line. The charge down. And it goes over the sideline. It could have gone absolutely anywhere. The kick was charged down. Craig Bellamy. What a sourpuss. Honestly, it's a trial match. It is a largely reserve grade team. It wasn't even a charge down. He's just kicked it into him accidentally. It was kind of a charge down by coincidence. That's what that was. He didn't even mean it. Melbourne get the ball back anyway, but as I was saying about Craig Bellamy, he looks so unhappy. It's a fringe team, extremely under strength, just a trial game, which means absolutely nothing, and he is still up there like a sourpuss. Melbourne still can't get out of their own half. Spilt the ball, and Canterbury will have it. Very simple mistakes. Now, fringe players or not, yes, he's not happy. Oh, we cut to Craig Bellamy, and he's fired up. I was about to say, even if it is fringe players, even if it is a trial game, now that is the sort of error I can understand is still a coach killer, even at this level. This next step down, the fringe players, that is still a coach-killing moment, that. A very simple drop ball. Bulldogs go down the short side. Oh, high shot. They get away with it, though, Melbourne. But the Bulldogs have loved attacking down their short side tonight. And now they spill the ball. And that's a coach killer. Back and forth with the errors. Whoops. Still 21 minutes to go. Oh, this is one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. I am instantly regretting my decision to cover all the pre-season challenge games. There's a reason that these guys aren't playing first grade, isn't it? Alright. I'm going to have a quick break. I think I deserve that. I think I've earned a break by putting up with this for as long as I have so far. And there's still more to come. Oh, yo, yo. Hey, it's a small price to pay, James, and it helps me out. Even as minuscule as it is that every ad helps me out, it helps me out. You can't really complain about that. As the Bulldogs make a mistake, inviting Melbourne back into this contest. Well, not that they were ever out of it. I can't believe there's still 19. There's still 19 minutes. 19 minutes left in this game. As Melbourne scrum down, they go short side. Everybody's loving the short side attack. David Rucker Davison says, Bulldogs go. Go, Dogs, go. Melbourne, get the offload. Russell Smith keeps it alive. Russell Smith is no Munster. $18 minutes to go. Melbourne have the ball in midfield. 20 out from the Bulldogs line. They attack down the left with good shape. They create the overlap. Now, stepping back in field. Nowhere to go. Who's number 5? I don't even know who that is. Number 5's not on my team sheet either. Oh, is it Williamson? No, it's Katoa. Katoa. There, the number 5 for Melbourne. Fifth and last, Peasant puts it high. Canterbury, they get all mixed up, the Bulldogs. They get all mixed up and they let the ball bounce. Luckily for them, it bounces into the hands of one of their players. William Afualo. I think with these trial games, there's apparently no interchange limits. Because there's players on that aren't even on the team sheet. David Rucker Davison says, always from PNG, Bulldogs, go please. The PNG. Oh, straight through a big gap. Toby Sexton, is it? Number 14. And that's a terrible pass from dummy half, which slows that whole play down. And then a terrible kick into the end goal to boot. And it dribbles over the dead ball line. And that was all just a little shambles from the Bulldogs. There is still 16 and a half minutes to go. I can't understand how, in all honesty, there's still so long in this contest left, which is good because we do need... And now a mistake in the play of the ball. The Bulldogs have forced the error from Kobe Williamson. Whoever that is. These are the fringe players for Melbourne Storm. Joel, love you. Go Doggies. You have support at Nova Village. Bulldogs go down that short side again off the scrum. It's a clear tactic from them. Inside the 20 they go. Sexton, flat pass, creates some space. I don't know who it is. It's the number 25. My list doesn't go down that far. Smith. Now they go to the right-hand edge, over the try line, but lifted up and driven backwards. Tackle 4. The Bulldogs are so close here. Fifth and last. They're 2 meters out from the line. Bulldogs, big open side here to the left. And here they go, through the hands. Sexton, good shape out the back. They've got numbers, and Bronson Xerri will score. Bronson Xerri will score. And that is another tick on the multi. Oh, we just need Remus Smith. We've got 14 minutes for Remus Smith to score a try. And I start the preseason with a huge win on a same-game multi. 14 minutes for Remus Smith to score a try. And we are well ahead on the season. Dan Jam, ahoy! It's going very well at the moment. I'm one tick away from a same-game multi in game 1. What a start it would be to get a 4-leg multi across the line in week 1, game 1 of the NRL Pre-Season. It'd be huge. 13 minutes to go. The Bulldogs, their goal kicking has been an issue tonight. Bronson Sherry. No, this is the preseason, Dan Jam. DJ Shack says, I tipped the Bulldogs because no star played for the Storm, except for Ryan Pappenhausen, of course. But Pappenhausen is off no game time and back from injury, so he kind of, sort of doesn't fully count, does he? Toby Sexton on his favourite side, this near sideline. He's had a lot of practice from here tonight. This time he hooks it around nicely. Bronson Cherry scores the try, and he's immediately removed from the field with 13 minutes to go. Well, that's all right. He's done his job. He's done his job for the Bulldogs tonight, and he's done his job for me in the same game multi. Just as long as they don't take Remus Smith off. Remus Smith has got to stay out there for the rest of the game. Game ML, you just won one of your bets. Nice. I am one tick away from a very exciting start to 2024 NRL. 12.5 minutes for Melbourne to get their act together and get Remus Smith over the line. If he's even still out there. Oh, yep, I just saw him. He is still there, so that's good. Bulldogs, after points, leading by 8. Controlling this contest. They've now got the scoreboard backing up the dominance that they've enjoyed throughout the course of this game. The kick in behind the line, it dribbles into touch right before the end goal line. That's a great kick. Great kick, Toby Sexton. 12 minutes to go. 12 minutes for Remus Smith to score a try. And then I don't care what happens beyond that point. Through the hands now. Melbourne trying to bring it out of their own territory. They've got to get in range. I would love to see them get in. I would love to just knock this over right now. I don't want any... who is here? Who's a long time? From inside the 40. The kick straight down the throat, though. And the Bulldogs return it. They're right down into their interchange now. Both teams have actually rolled out. And this is what I was saying. I don't think there's any interchange restrictions during this pre-season challenge because both teams have just rolled out all the reserves. We're down to like number 27 and 28. So in the pre-season, there's obviously no restrictions on the interchange. Oh, God, I just shot myself in the face. Fifth and last, Bulldogs. They've gone all the way upfield again, 75 metres. They're 10 out. More points incoming here. The kick into the end goal. They're up. And the ball beats everybody over the dead ball line. Who touched it back, though? This could be a goal line dropout inside the last 10 minutes. Season 2023 was notorious for me falling one leg short in my multis. Why do I feel like season 2024? Well, the season proper hasn't even started yet, but why do I get the feeling that 2024 is going to be exactly the same? Just one measly leg short. ...2023 was just so painfully close so many times. Bulldogs have the ball here on the attack. Tackle 3, 2 meters short of the line. They come to the left-hand side. Oh, spills the ball. He spills the ball, number 26. And now it opens up for Melbourne. Oh, yeah, the Warriors versus somebody. It was obviously the Warriors. And I also lost a 4 or 5 leg multi because Ezra Mam had butter on his fingers that particular night. That was a painful one too. Oh, and now Melbourne spill the ball. Number 16. You go straight to hell, mate. Lazarus. Who, ironically, his name is Lazarus. Lazarus Valepool, and he smacks himself in the head. You smack yourself in the head, mate, because I'm not there to do it for you. Spilling the ball in contact. We've only got 8 minutes for this multi to pay off, and you go and make a mistake like that. With one of the rare possessions that your team gets. No, I don't think so, TJ Shack. I mean, that's where I'll be, so. Oh! Easy overlap created and a try for the Bulldogs. Jonathan Sewer. A set play from the scrum. How much do I make if Smith scores? Around about $1,680. Try confirmed. That was a beautiful piece of play. The Bulldogs, they've been attacking that right-hand edge every single time. They've taken the Storm by surprise, though, and they've changed it up. And they've attacked the other edge. And Sewer with the try. Wouldn't have even had him in... Because I didn't know that all these reserves were allowed to play tonight. So, I mean, that really does change the dynamics of the same game multi when there's no interchange restrictions. 6.5 minutes to go. The Dogs have got this match won. It's all about my multi now. Pretty much. As Toby Sexton, he's had a lot of practice from out here. Toby Sexton. Every kick that he's had, every conversion that he's had has been from out here. This exact same spot. He missed his first one. He got the next one. Is he going to get another one? Yeah. Oh, no, he's hooked it again. It's hit the post this time. This one was right in the middle. He's missed one horribly. He's kicked one. This time he's close. He hits the post. This is not AFL, so he doesn't get a point for trying. It remains 24-12. And the Bulldogs looking like they're going to win this first preseason game. They were the favourites with the bookmaker. And the thing that I'm most surprised about is that Melbourne really have offered very little, if anything at all. In fairness, DJ Shaq, all his literally every single attempt has been from the sideline. So it has been a rough night for him with the boot. I do have to give him some sort of allowance for the position that his conversion attempts have come from. As the Bulldogs getting offload away and makes some meters upfield. Back into Melbourne's territory on tackle 3. The average set distance for Canterbury would be massive. They've now made a mistake, but still. The average set distance for the Bulldogs, that would be such an interesting statistic to see. Because I feel like they have just stormed upfield. No pun intended. Average set meters. This would be so curious to see. And it's not a stat that exists on the NRL website, which should not surprise me because the NRL website is terrible. Don't know why I keep using it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I take it all back. Okay, average set distance for the Bulldogs, 42.38 meters. It's actually not as big as I thought it would be. A statement that I've heard a few times in my life. Not gonna lie. Fifth and last here for the Storm. Come on. Get the ball to Remus Smith. Get a try. The kick goes through. It pops up very, very kindly for the Bulldogs. Remus Smith was there. It was his side of the field. We're going to get no love tonight. Just like season 2023. We were just one leg short. Nice replay there from Fox Sports. Nice to know I'm not the only one that has technical issues and presses the wrong button every now and then. Melbourne will get one or two cracks at it. You would think. Fifth and last here, Bulldogs. Still inside their own half. Clearing kick away. And the kick goes over the dead ball line. Now, if this were rugby union, we'd be coming all the way back for a scrum down. But it's not. It's rugby league. Melbourne do have the ball, though. 20-metre tap. Jimmy Lister, ahoy, mate. Nice to see you again. Jimmy Lister is a name that I always recognise in the chat because Lister, Dave Lister from Red Dwarf. If I see one TikTok about how the Doggies beat the Storm, I'm going to die. Okay, I've got a feeling you might see more than one. I think there'll be a few of them. But it's okay. The thing is, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters at the moment. It's just a warm-up. It's a trial. It's pre-season. Nobody cares. They will exist, though. Don't you worry. They will exist. 2 minutes to go in this game. Running out of time here, Melbourne. Fifth and last. 25 out. I'm not even sure that... Oh, yeah, Remus Smith. Here we go. Remus Smith is in play with the high ball. It's taken by Melbourne. Not by Remus Smith, though. Not by Remus Smith. And it's no try. And it's a handover to the Bulldogs. We have fallen desperately short. One leg. Who was the other try scorer from Melbourne? That's what I need to see. Oh, Dean Uremia. So I went Remus Smith. I went one in. I went for the number 3. I went for the centre. I went for Dean. I went for Remus Smith. Dean Uremia out on the wing was the try scorer. And I've got a horrible feeling that he was a name I tossed up in the pre-game. I have a nasty, nasty feeling that his was a name that I threw out there. Melbourne will get one last set of 6 here. Maybe not even a full set, but they've got one last chance here. Remus Smith to score a try. Come on. And they make a half break. They make a half break, Melbourne, up to their own 40-metre line. 30 seconds to go. Smith passes the ball on, and now there's more space opened up. Smith goes into dummy half. That's not where we need him. We need him on the receiving end of a break here. Oh, that's huge defense in midfield by the Bulldogs, who tow the ball through to destroy my hopes and dreams. And the Bulldogs have got the ball, and we are fallen one leg short. Oh, it was the story of 2023, and it's now apparently going to be the story of 2024. We're going to fall one leg short, and they've gone for a drop goal. Toby Sexton goes for a drop goal, and he's missed it. 24 points to 12, and the Bulldogs have defeated the Storm. The Bulldogs have defeated the Storm here in the pre-season challenge. Some alarming signs still, though, for the Bulldogs, considering the amount of possession and territory that they had in this game. 63% to 37. They dominated possession. I'm still a little concerned. Even though this is not the real team, this is the fringe players. It's just a trial. But if you see some elements, if you see some signs of the same old story, I do start to worry. I really hope that the Bulldogs come through this season. I really, really do. 63% possession to 37 for a 12-point win. Yes, they left some goals out there as well. The most painful thing, though, is that one leg short on the multi. One leg. Dan Jam says, I have seen some mullets in my time, but that Melbourne hooker's really taken it. Oh, is that the Red Panda mullet? I've been calling him out all night. The Red Panda mullet. Pretty impressive stuff. 24 points to 12. The Bulldogs were the favourite with the bookmaker. And with good reason, too. They had the most frontline players available for their team. For Melbourne, Pappenhausen and Remus Smith. Trent Liero as well, probably. Okay, so maybe three frontline players for Melbourne. Frontline players for the Bulldogs. I mean, Blake Taff is probably going to be in there. Blake Wilson. Bronson Sherry will factor in somewhere. Matt Burton. Reed Marnie. So there are Jacob Preston. There are Jamin. So there were a few more frontline players in the Bulldogs, and that's why they were justifiably favourites with the bookmakers. And they've come through. They've come through with the win. Trailing at half-time, 10 points to 12. They have kept Melbourne scoreless in the second half, and they've gone on to win 24 points to 12. A great effort. And a great start to the pre-season challenge for the Bulldogs. Oh, wow. Wasted a lot of sports. The footy's back, huh? And there's a weekend off for the Six Nations, Dan Jam. So I don't have to wake up early until next week. Next weekend, I wake up early for the Six Nations continuation. So, plays, ahoy! Oh. Speaking of Europe and the Six Nations, There she is. Very nice to see you again. For the love of God, Zoe plays, would you look at my hair? How incredibly long. In all the years. Now, Zoe plays, you've known me, what? 6 years? Have you ever seen my hair this long? I don't think you've ever seen my hair for as long as that. Anyway. Wasted World of Sports. The NRL is back, albeit the pre-season. That was still a good lot of fun, though. I can't believe, though, that, honestly, the story of the year last year was just one measly leg short of a multi-paying out. And again, just a Remus Smith try. That's all I asked. A Remus Smith try. Maybe I need to change things up, huh? Maybe I need to, rather than doing 4 legs, maybe I need to just refrain a little bit. Just pull myself back to 3 legs. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I'm pretty happy to persist with the 4 legs, though. Dan Jam says back to the league next week. Super League? I am actually endeavoring to do some Super League streams this season. So yeah, there you go. That is a thing. That is a thing that could potentially happen. Mr. Ed's Dead says the mohawk was pretty long at one time. Not this long, though, Mr. Ed's Dead. You are absolutely correct, sir. But I don't think for 1 second the mohawk was ever quite this long. Look at this. That is ridiculous. I can't even get it all in camera, no matter how hard I try. Yeah, I don't think the mohawk was ever quite that long. I do miss the mohawk, but you know, my hairstylist kind of got forced into retirement. Haven't found anybody else that I trust. Super League starts tomorrow, Dan Jam. Hang on. I mean, I trust you completely. Don't you worry. I just want to check my calendar because I've got a Wasted World of Sports calendar. Oh, and I don't have the Super League. I don't have the Super League added to it. Right, okay, I need to add the Super League to my calendar. All right, Wasted World of Sports, I'm going to have a very quick break. And I'll be right back to wrap everything up for tonight. This one's for James. This one's for James. We've got to throw some more ads in, just for him. All right, Wasted World of Sports. Let me just check something really quickly. Okay, there's nothing there yet. All right, so I'm pretty sure what's happening is the Harvey Norman All-Stars game. 7 p.m. So it'll be about roughly the same time tomorrow. Harvey Norman All-Stars. We'll be back. Until then, I don't have too much to say about that game, really. There's not a whole lot to dissect. In all honesty, it's the preseason. No one cares. I'm only doing it because I wanted to see some of the fringe players for the Wasted Water Sports NRL Fantasy League that we will start this season. And I got a nice little glimpse into some of the fringe players. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. But yeah, we'll see. Wasted Water Sports, we'll be back tomorrow, I guess, at this point. Round about the same time, obviously, in the same place for the All-Stars game. Until then, thank you so much for joining me for this one. And we'll catch you tomorrow, huh? Cheers.
World of sports, eh?
Oh, he's copped a head right to the nuts. Tedesco's butt crack. Ahoy! He's nearly taken security's head off.
I have no idea what the wasted world of sports is.